our topic of discussion for today. Today we're looking at how to leverage on cooperative to address financial gap. And of course, in Nigeria, cooperative help to address financial gaps by providing affordable credit, saving opportunities, and of course, financial education, particularly for underserved communities excluded from traditional banking. However, the effectiveness is limited by challenges such as financial constraint, low member literacy, weak governance, and poor record keeping. The Nigerian government is working on reform to support the sector through a new national policy, revised legislation, and the potential establishment of a cooperative bank. Let's put some context into this. I'm being joined in the studio by Mr. Emmanuel Atama. He's the Executive Secretary, CEO, National Cooperative Financing Agency of Nigeria. Good morning, Mr. Emmanuel.
Good morning, Mr. Yusuf.
Glad to have you again.
It's my pleasure.
Yes, on Trust TV. Let's look at this issue of cooperative. We've talked about having a cooperative bank before. What is in it for us to understand how effective do you think this bank is going to work if eventually it's coming to fruition?
Yes, it will help to promote financial inclusion much more better because the bank, as it is planned, is supposed to be owned by the cooperative members themselves. So they believe that when it is their own bank, including them, then it's as good as themselves. So what will make it more effective is the good number of cooperative members we have across Nigeria. And we have good number, and we believe that number is business. So we believe that since it's our desire and we are part and parcel of the drive, it will be like our own and will work for its success. Because in other climes, like Kenya, you have the cooperative bank there also. And in places like the US, you have the credit union working closely with the Bank of US. So I think we are trying to see how we can implement things like that in Nigeria so that our people can be better served.
How much of financial gap do you think this will address?
The financial gap is not measured yet, but I believe that cooperative itself, by its status, is a quasi-financial institution providing financial services down to the grassroots for the people. And the cooperative is not set up primarily to come and start looking for money. So the gap always occurs when what is within cannot serve what is required. So I believe that the gaps most of the time, if you are putting it on a percentage point, yes, you would now look at the gap most often is 50-50 most of the time. Because when what you have is not enough to meet what you want to do. So I believe that the gap is much, but what is being put in place will go a long way to solve the problem.
In terms of solving the problem now, how do you mobilize savings? Saving mobilization is very, very important. In every organization, there's cooperative. Like here, we have one, very effective. In terms of savings mobilization, what are the mechanisms do you think can be deployed to make it more effective?
Yes, you know, we are in age of technology, and we just deployed a technology called Aquila. And it's doing what we call direct debit, because the first point of financial inclusion is to have a bank account. And we are encouraging a cashless society such that when we tokenize your account through the direct debit, your contributions come in as at when due naturally, without coming to ask you to bring your money. That is what we are currently doing. The technology was deployed when we marked the International Year of Cooperatives this year, in the month of July. And we'll be going to Makurdi next week for the CFAN Summit, where we hope to discuss more on its implementation. Because for next year, we're going to do a lot that has to do with banking and bringing on board things that are within the formal sector that ab initio are not in cooperative, so that the inclusive drive will be properly achieved. So in mobilizing the savings, we have to put up a mechanism that makes the saving come as at when due. And we're deploying it in the market, we're deploying it in the church, in the mosques, everywhere where you find cooperative. Because those that are in departments and ministries of government, they already have their contributions coming directly from their salary. You know, so I believe that once we discuss in Makurdi next week on how to optimize this, I strongly believe that by next year, a lot will be achieved in terms of savings mobilization, because it's also a peer pressure. If me and you are in a cooperative and you are making contribution, I ask myself, what happens to me? I want to do it. So anytime I decline, it will look as if I'm an outcast, okay? So we are trying to make sure that we do that. And we tell people also that cooperative is the only place that you are always sure of loan.
No, absolutely.
The reason is because the law makes it incumbent on the cooperative that once you have a member that has saved consistently up to 6 months, that person is eligible to take double or triple of what the person has saved as loan, provided the person can bring a member within that can guarantee the exposure the loan is going to create. But when you put money in other financial models, it's a story altogether.
And the lending, the digit, in terms of the rates, is also very low.
We have consistently remained single digits. The most cooperative will go is 10% per annum. I'm telling you, not per month. Because I know of some banks, like particularly the microfinance banks, that are lending at 5% per month. But we are still lending. Go to ministries and departments. You see, for the past 5 years, I have put together about 15 cooperatives in Abuja here. And when we look at their monthly cash flow, it's well over 5 billion. This money comes in and still go back to the system as loan. And that is why you discover that there is no much pressure. Once the cooperatives are not there to do this, there will be a lot of problem.
Indeed. What about in terms of what kind of a game changer do you think a cooperative can also adopt going forward, which I think is very important? A lot of people, the lack of awareness is still there, but what can you tell members now who are not participating?
Yes, the game changer we introduce is as contained in the cooperative development policy for Nigeria.
The federal government?
Yes. The recommendation in that policy is that to sustain the single-digit lending that we are doing in cooperative, then we must also have our secondary fund. The money in the cooperative is the primary fund. That is why the cooperative can lend to their members. But when there is a gap, there is a place you will still go and get that money at the same rate, which is the Cooperative Development Fund. Is currently in place, managed by Sterling Capital, because that is our own subtle way also of going into the capital markets. So we have the Cooperative Development Fund already in place. The next stage is to put in place working committees around the fund, because cooperative leadership is participatory. That is why we are going to Makurdi. And what do we intend to do there? Create more awareness for the cooperatives with respect fund intend to function. Then secondly, make them also part of the various working groups around sensitization and mobilization to take care of the awareness you're talking about, working groups around audits, around loan administration, around monitoring and evaluation, and a whole lot of partnership to see that the fund is sustainable. Because what we've discovered recently is that a cooperative is lending at 7% per annum. And then all of a sudden, the cooperative needs some funds. Upon approaching the banks, they are telling the cooperative to come and take at 28, 29, 30%. You discover that when such fund comes in, it becomes a destruction. in all of its entirety, because some members have taken this facility at a very cheap rate, and then you have brought in a fund that they want to go and take at a high rate. So you discover that if we don't bring in the Cooperative Development Fund as a game changer to break that genes, you now discover that sustaining the cooperative lending policy that is affordable, that is accessible, become difficult. Other countries of the world have it. Advanced countries where our people run to, they have it. So why don't we have it? And that is the reason why we are happy that we found a partnership in Sterling Capital. And as I speak with you, more other fund managers are interested in coming on board.
All right. Let's look at the community focus approach. What do you think should be done? I mean, operating within local communities, what kind of design do you think can function well in local communities?
You see, the cooperative that you hear today, when you say cooperative, is actually set up at world level. Even the cooperative in Trust TV today is set up at this ward of Abuja, and then it springs and operates in different parts of Abuja. So, talking about community, cooperative is grassroots and community-based, and it is the members of that community that forms that cooperative. So, its operation, first of all, starts within the community and springs out. And the community focus program we are running is to make sure that various aspects of the community, the traditional institution, the worship center, the youth movement, the women wing, all of them are in one way or the other involved in cooperative activity, and it is benefiting them. So there is no issue of exclusion. And how the community operates is that most of our communities are agrarian in nature. So they use the cooperative instrumentality in doing their agri-business, they do doing their trade, in doing their investment and so many other activities. So what we try to do in process of inclusion is not to go and bring a different thing entirely to them. What we do is, how do we refine what they are doing ab initio? Take for example today, I know of a woman that sells firewood for the past 25 years. She no longer sells firewood, she's selling charcoal now. And then she trained 3 of her children at the university, and they are telling her, "Mommy, stop selling firewood." They say, "How will I stop?" That woman, you don't need to go and take her out of her firewood business. Exactly. What you need to do for her is either to register the firewood business as a business name or a limited liability, and then open bank account for her, give her some financial literacy so that she will now refine that business and put food on the table on a much more higher ground. So that is our community focus approach.
The issue of financial literacy and capacity building is also key in your operations. How much of it? You just made mention it. I was actually coming there.
Yes, you know, cooperative operates with a set of principles. So principle number 5 talks about continuous member education, training and information. So what we do is that during our meetings, either ordinary general meetings, annual general meetings, any of these meetings we do, we have elements of education we give to our people. And apart from that, most of our cooperatives today, with the advent of technology, particularly you see these WhatsApp groups and most group platforms, we channel the information through that and make sure that each time we meet them, we educate them. And that is the reason why, through our participation at the financial inclusion working groups in Central Bank, we domesticated the national working financial inclusion strategy into what we call the cooperative inclusive strategy. So today, we have those strategies domesticated, and our people are well informed about it. And whatever you see us doing today is fetching from those strategies and making sure that we keep them informed as contained in our principle.
Indeed. As we wrap up now, this is not without risk. What are the risks involved? The viewers want to know.
You see, like I said earlier, one of the things that people complain, and I also recall when one of the executive directors of one of our partnering bank asked me, how do we mitigate risk in cooperative? That is why, if you look at other climes, particularly like Kenya, where we copy from, insurance is key to cooperative operation. So right now, we are working with a couple of insurance companies to make sure that we provide cover around group life, credit life, and so many other, even including health insurance. Because it is only when you are healthy that you can do business.
Absolutely.
Okay? So what we are doing now, part of our discussion in Makodi next week, is this risk.
How to mitigate
around
risk.
Yes, around cooperative, and how do we mitigate them. And at the end of the summit, we intend to come up with a work plan with timelines and deliverables, so that we'll be able to meet the targets that we have set for ourselves.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel Atama, Executive Secretary, CEO, National Cooperative Financing Agency of Nigeria. We appreciate your time and contribution on Business Daily. We appreciate
Thank you very much.
All right.
Appreciate it.
With that, is the wrap on the show today. We'll be back again tomorrow. I am Yusuf Akugo.